So the also-rans, the growth and the gap.
Yes.
You've done a lot of work on this. You're
have.
admirable.
Yes.
Admirable.
I have.
Let's do the growth today
All right.
and the gap on Monday.
Okay.
Righto. So
All
the
right.
growth.
The growth. So we'll alphabetical order.
Righto, like it.
Adelaide. Are they about to build an elite forward line? Now, it is on the back of a lot of draft capital and probably a lot of money, but Darcy Fogarty, 33 goals in his past 11. Riley Thilthorpe, I have no doubt will become an elite forward ruck. He was a pick 2. Fogarty was a pick 12. Josh Rochelle remains to be seen what happens with Rankin. So Rankin comes in. Let's assume Rochelle stays as well. And McHenry was a round 1 pick as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of your own first rounders plus Rankin, who was a pick 3 as well. That's an enormous amount of capital spent on the forward line, but it's a very talented group as
Where's
well.
Rochelle going?
Well, someone's got to go in exchange for Rankin, don't they?
They're not going to swap Rochelle for Rankin.
Well, they've got to get up someone.
They're not going to give him up.
Well, Gold Coast has said they don't want players. They want picks.
That's not what I heard.
Okay. They've changed their tune, have they?
They've got picks.
I heard they wanted 2 first-round picks, but anyway, we'll wait and see.
So
Rochelle for Rankin.
What they are doing
Bit of
though
firepower there.
is building it's cost them a bit in terms of what they've spent at the draft, but it does have the makings of a very good forward.
Righto, the growth
line.
at Carlton.
Carlton, just togetherness, more synergy. Another summer, in particular, spent together under Voss, the boss, and I think more improvement from. I think O'Brien can improve. I know he dropped off. Zach Williams is one you'll want more from. Mitch McGovern hopefully gets a run at it from a defensive point of view because there's no doubt in anyone's mind. There's no doubt in my mind he can be a very good third tall defender. Intercept marker, ball user. Tom DeConing will get better. Hopefully he surpasses. I hoped it happened this year. It didn't. Hopefully he surpasses Pitnet and goes past him. And even Chera, second year in the system. So just another summer of hard work and togetherness and synergy and building what they've done this year.
Big if. Imagine if you got a full year from Williams, Martin, McGovern, and Marchbank.
And unfortunately,
Enormous.
it's a big if, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's another bloke you can chuck in the mix who no one knows about. No one knows about Dave Cunningham. I know.
No, he's a good player. I've seen him play well against Essendon twice.
Yep. I bang on about him, but please, the football gods, give this kid a run at it. So, Essendon.
Blank canvas. That's the growth. They're starting from ground zero.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Let's hope it works out. Gold Coast, Ben King.
Yeah.
Hopefully returning. Should be at the stage where he's able to do a full pre-season and just be ready to absolutely tear this thing apart next year.
No tinkering with him, is there? Like you get him in, and he's a forward. We're not. There's been some speculation.
Beg you.
I know, and we pooed the idea.
I beg you.
There's people have been suggesting that
Ben or Max. I'd take Ben. I think he's more versatile.
I can't tell who's better yet.
I think Ben's better on the ground.
Ben was probably,
and he's a very accurate kick, Ben.
Well, against expectation, I think Ben was probably going a bit, but Max was coming off the knee, so now they're
wouldn't mind either.
Yeah, no, they're both
you
pretty
are
good.
choosing between two.
The bloke at Gold Coast that confuses me, Alex Sexton.
Yeah,
you can see what he can do.
Alan,
what's happened?
It's clearly about what he doesn't do. I suppose he may have played himself into a contract at a club elsewhere.
Yeah, might have.
GWS, new coach, and we know where he comes from. So potentially a new system, and with that brings a reinvigorated group because they just got a bit dour and, have we run our race? And you get someone new in and you just might reinvigorate the place. Hawthorn.
Are you suggesting the return of the Orange Tsunami?
Maybe, but in a different sense. Not relied on ball movement, maybe on
surge.
Go forward.
Surge and power and run.
He's pretty open in his press conference saying there's going to be a lot of Richmond about the way they play.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of Richmond about the way Collingwood play.
It's a very, very good
goes
thing.
all right.
Goes well.
Hawthorn, I think they've got the potential. They showed signs this year of being the most potent offensive team in the game. Now,
that's a big call.
Oh, some of their ball movement was slick.
Rod's lost himself out of the
Just go back and if you're a Hawthorn fan,
very aroused.
Just go and watch their win over Port earlier in the season. And some of the ball use on that night was sublime.
Yeah.
It was as good as it gets.
Yeah, so that's only going to be aided by Carl Amon.
And they'll work heavily on their defensive side of the game, and that might be one of their gap areas. But their ball movement is sensational.
Make sure you keep Jack. I'm a believer that Gunston finishes his life as a footballer, as a Hawthorn player.
Keep Bruce and Gunston.
Got to keep them. They've both been outstanding players for your footy club.
Absolutely.
Don't let them go.
Agree. The Kangaroos, Alistair Clarkson, pretty straightforward, isn't it? And what can he do with Jaden Stevenson and potentially keeping Horn Francis? What can he do with Hugh Greenwood, who's a bit older, but was clearly David Noble's guy. They found a loophole to get him out of it. Can you find a way to get something out of him? Coleman Jones, they went after, paid him good money, allegedly promised him that he was going to be the number one ruck, and clearly he's not going to be that, at least in the short term.
He's got some work to do.
He needs
Cherry.
Cherry. But what can Clarko and a new regime do for some of those guys who we look at and we think they've got a bit of a smell to them? What can Clarko find a way to? Because you can't just get rid of everyone. They'll get rid of a lot, and a lot of those guys are contracted as well.
It's the start of next year at North Melbourne. Is Todd Goldstein still the number one ruckman?
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't the start.
But he finished. He finished number one
only because Cherry got injured.
Have you got Cherry ahead? I mean, I know in a wish list you probably have.
Well, Noble did, but Clarkson might think differently.
Yeah, they did. So,
who's a better player right now? Who's a better player, Todd Goldstein or
Todd Goldstein? But don't sell. Cherry was doing some good stuff.
Yeah, okay.
He was playing good footy.
Todd Goldstein is he's underrated on a weekly basis. This bloke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no new contract for Jed Anderson. Is that a surprise?
Not really. No.
Will he get a chance somewhere?
Yep. I think he probably will.
Jed Anderson left Hawthorn when Clarko was coach.
He did.
Didn't he? So I wonder whether
maybe. Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, just something there.
Port Adelaide, a new mix. Grow and just have the team and whatever it looks like. And they're almost the one in terms of the gap I'm most keen to talk about on Monday. But they can go forward, whatever that looks like, with Rosie and Butters around the ball. So there'll still be Boak and there'll still be Wines and there'll still be a bit of Willem Drew. But Rosie and Butters are the two who can just give them what they really need moving forward.
Good to see Xavier Dersma finish the season back in the side and doing a bit more Xavier Dersma-like things. I was happy to see him finish his team.
Absolutely.
Well, he probably gets more chance with Amon going.
Yes, no doubt.
Take that wing spot.
And he's a good wingman in terms of his size and his athletic prowess.
And when he's confident, he kicks the ball well.
Yeah, perhaps just needs to really go to school on an Isaac Smith and some of those elite wingers, Ed Langdon and those types. The Saints, I think we know their best is pretty good, but I think they need some good kids, don't they? They need to find a couple of nice kids in the draft.
Got a couple this year, but they need a couple more. But that's the problem, isn't it? Their best is pretty good.
Yeah. But maybe if they get it, like you look at Geelong, people thought, well, you know what, De Koning and a couple of others come in and revitalise and just give you a little lift, and it can be enough. West Coast, just restart the engine. I'll give them a pass for this year. But it's really...
A pass?
Do you? Oh, they would.
West Coast?
No,
we went soft
start
on
of their year.
No, it was horrible.
But that wasn't all
They
year.
had 17 out at different stages.
They got some blokes who need to get really... they've got a couple of blokes who were not AFL fit this year.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I'm happy to give them a 1 year pass on the back of some of the stuff they had to put up with earlier in the year.
No, early in the year. But they were playing better when they were putting up with that stuff early in the year. They were actually...
I bet Collingwood.
I know.
How'd that happen?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's one of life's great mysteries. But I'm happy to just see what they look like moving in the next season.
Okay. They need some good kids.
It was hard to find a growth area for them in terms of what they are good at.
Oscar Allen
have
coming
been
back
good
at. He's a good player.
He will help. No question about that. So that's the growth areas. We'll do the gaps
He didn't spend much
on
time
Monday.
on Essendon. Just swept over Essendon.
What did I say about it?
Blank canvas.
Start from the ground up.
Well, what would you put in there? Peter Wright?
Yeah, where's the growth area at Essendon? This
New coach. Better defensive system. That's what I think will be the growth area.
So new coach, blank canvas. Yeah, sounds like a blank canvas.
We'll wait and see what happens there.
For a former
new
Bomber,
CEO.
you've got a bit more respect.
Well, I'm only loosely a former Bomber. I don't get invited to any of the past player things because I'm not a past player.
Geez, you're big on Hawthorn.
big on Hawthorn.
No, I'm
The
not
most
big on Hawthorn.
aggressive. What did you say?
Best
The most
ball movement team
Yeah.
in the competition.
Aesthetically pleasing.
They were good to watch.
As everyone tells me with Brisbane, that doesn't get it done, does it? So they're going to have to fix up the other side of it.
Yeah, I'd love to know what you'd love to sit down with Sam and get him to Sam Mitchell and get him to tell you exactly what this year was all about.
Yeah.